On The Bachelorette Season 19, Rachel Recchia and Gabby Windey have encountered some villains who have since said sorry to them via social media, but the women are now explaining why they won't accept those apologies. Bachelorette suitors Jacob Rapini and Hayden Markowitz both insulted Gabby when they told her that they would rather pursue Rachel than her. Gabby was not offended that they chose Rachel, but she was shocked by the harsh words that they used during the rejection. Jacob told Gabby that if she were the only bachelorette, he would not have the heart to continue with the show because he did not feel a connection with her. He concluded the conversation by saying, "But obviously you're smokin'." Hayden also hurt Gabby's feelings when he told her that he would rather pursue Rachel than her. He said that his values lined up more with Rachel's than hers. He told Gabby that she had a bubbly and goofy aspect to her and said, "You're a little bit more like. I don't want to say rough around the edges, but y'all want people to be very direct with y'all." In her confessional, Gabby said that being called rough around the edges hurt because it confirmed her insecurities. However, Hayden did not seem to think that he said anything wrong. He later told Rachel that she was more his type, and they kissed. She later gave him a rose. At the beginning of the Bachelorette Week 4 episode, Hayden tried to explain to James Meatball Clark that Gabby had used rough around the edges to describe herself twice, so he also said it. He said, "My Dumba uses the same verbiage that Gabby uses to describe herself, and she expletive didn't like that." Well, B, maybe you shouldn't use that expletive word to describe yourself then. Hayden also compared Rachel and Gabby to his ex-girlfriend in a vulgar manner and said they don't hold a candle to her. "And I don't want to just settle. I can tell you right now, I don't see how any guy in here could be like him expletive marrying these girls." At the cocktail party, Hayden told Rachel about his beloved dog Rambo, who has a brain tumor and only a couple of months to live. Hayden was very offended when Rachel allowed Tino Franco to interrupt their conversation. After that, Hayden told Meatball that he did not feel comfortable saying that Rachel was the person for him. Meatball told Rachel about Hayden's words and added that he had said, "I don't trust these B." Rachel then confronted Hayden and asked him to leave. Both Jacob and Hayden have since posted apologies on Instagram to Rachel and Gabby, but on the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast hosted by Becca Kufrin and Michelle Young, the women explained why they will not accept them. Jacob and Hayden's apologies since these Bachelorette episodes aired. Both Jacob and Hayden have apologized to the women through Instagram posts. Jacob wrote that he wanted to apologize to Gabby for not taking her feelings into consideration. He said that what he said was ignorant and not appropriate for the moment and thinks that he should have been listening instead of explaining. Jacob added that he has no excuses and can only learn from the moment to understand everyone deserves to be respected. Similarly, in a since-deleted Instagram post, Hayden apologized to both Rachel and Gabby, saying that Bachelorette viewers saw him at his absolute worst and lowest moment. "I have always tried to carry myself with humility and respect for others. However, my complete lapse of judgment was not only disappointing, but it was absolutely unacceptable. I genuinely want to express my deepest apologies to both Gabby and Rachel for my actions." Hayden continued by saying that he took full responsibility for not being the man that he was raised to be in those moments, especially toward these two wonderful deserving ladies who I truly do respect. Jacob and Hayden did not seem to remember that everything was filmed on The Bachelorette. When Rachel confronted Hayden about the things that he had said about her and Gabby, he denied everything, seemingly forgetting that everything he said was caught on film. On Bachelor Happy Hour, Rachel admitted that she feels horrible that she ever gave Hayden the benefit of the doubt and called what happened horrific. Gabby said that she is not even sure if she used the words rough around the edges to describe herself, But if she did, she might have said it in a joking way. She was insulted that Hayden did not even know her and referred to her values. After Jacob was eliminated at the rose ceremony, Gabby reminded him that everything that happened would be aired on television. She said that he was not sorry at the time, and when he was being sent home, they fought. He told Gabby that she disrespected him and that he never said those things or that she was smocking. Gabby reminded him that the Bachelorette would play it all back. Becca said that she cannot wait for the Men Tell All episode when Hayden and Jacob will be confronted with the truth. Hayden and Jacob have not privately apologized to Gabby and Rachel on Bachelor Happy Hour. Gabby explained that Hayden and Jacob apologized on social media after the episodes aired, but they never reached out privately. She said, "Even now, both of them have apologized, and it's kind of upsetting that you need a public response to make you understand what you did wrong." She was upset that they apologized through social media posts, stating, "I wouldn't even see these if people weren't sending them to me." Gabby also explained that the men were not even sorry when the incidents happened and that they don't actually know what they're apologizing for. She explained that, days after Hayden and Jacob made their offensive comments, they were still defending them to the men and women in the house. However, now, months later, they have changed their outlooks because all of Bachelor Nation is coming for them. Neither Hayden nor Jacob has reached out to Rachel and Gabby to apologize privately. The Bachelorette has had its fair share of villains over the years, but this season has been especially shocking. Hayden and Jacob were unnecessarily blunt with Rachel and Gabby, and their comments could have pitted the women against each other if they weren't such great friends. Gabby and Rachel should not have to accept their apologies, especially since they were not actually apologized to. Hayden and Jacob's decisions to express that they were sorry publicly, rather than directly to the women, are more about them preserving their public images. Hayden might have realized this since he deleted his Instagram post. Hopefully, as Rachel and Gabby embark on their European cruise with the rest of the men, the remainder of the season will be smooth sailing and could lead to true love. Sources: Bachelor Happy Hour, Jacob Rapini Instagram, Hayden Markowitz Instagram. The Bachelorette airs Mondays at 8 p.m.